Hi, Charles.
Oh, wait. Hello, folks. Look around here. We're going to show you now. You know, we have a house that we built up here,
Uh-huh.
and we have this. We decided we got this beautiful knoll out here,
Uh-huh.
and we thought, wouldn't it be nice to have a greenhouse where we can go down and get a head of lettuce and get some broccoli and get some zucchini.
Uh-huh.
Wouldn't it be nice to just walk down, pick it, take it up and cut it up and put it in a pan and make ourselves a salad and have everything, tomatoes, bell peppers, everything right there. And you have it fresh. You take it up and it's so much nicer fresh.
Yeah.
So anyway,
What inspired you? Because the hillside. and
well,
then
you see, the house was built, and we had the deck was in, and we had to design it in such a way that we wouldn't see this. So I dug into the ground, and that wall was up.
Yeah.
So the house and the wall was all in. So I decided to dig it down, so when the living room, when you're standing, you're not seeing it.
Yeah.
So then the solar panels, I dug it deep enough to put all the solar
So
in
you
front.
did most of this yourself?
Yeah, well, yeah, I did it all myself.
Wow.
I got a backhoe though.
Yeah.
You see, a backhoe is like having 50 people.
Oh wow. Okay. That's
So
good.
in half a day, you could dig this all out.
And the
with a
cement
backhoe.
work you did yourself?
Now this was done with students.
Wow. Okay.
This was all seminars, and students actually built this whole wall here
Wow.
in 2.5 hours,
Oh wow.
start to finish.
Wow.
So
And what year
anyway,
did you started on this?
What
year?
About 1990.
1990. Okay.
And we finished in 92.
92.
See, we were busy with gardening and farming and Christmas trees, trying to earn a living.
Yeah.
So the house was sort of done just whenever we had spare time.
Yeah.
An hour, two a day. So we never did full-time work on it.
Oh, wow.
So it had other priorities
Yeah.
dominated the time.
Yeah. So you started with the greenhouse first, and then the house, or the house?
No, first a house.
A house, and then the greenhouse.
The greenhouse had to relate to the house, and the house had to be built before.
Oh.
You could not have done the greenhouse first.
Okay.
So that was done after. So anyway, I found an old door, and I put a door in here,
Uh-huh.
and then we come in here.
So you could grow strawberry and stuff right here.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, we grew strawberries mostly outside.
Oh, okay.
We did have strawberries for a while here, but the greenhouse is not the best place.
Oh, okay.
So what happened? The garden is the worst garden I ever had. Is what I got now. I just can't keep up to make it work. But anyway,
Right now you have some.
there's some.
green.
These are Brussels sprouts,
Just,
and then we've got New Zealand spinach. This
okay.
is something that people don't know.
oh wow.
This is wonderful stuff
Oh
for salad
yeah.
and for cooking.
Yeah.
It's like spinach, but it's year-round and it's a weed.
Yeah.
You don't have to plant it; it just grows wild.
Yeah.
These are zucchini, crook-necked and straight-necked.
Yeah.
Now, usually, see, this is a female,
Yeah.
and this is producing.
Yeah.
Now, normally here we don't have enough. In order to get them to these females,
Yeah.
see, now they're not being pollinated.
Yeah.
But sometimes we have to hand pollinate them to
Oh,
get
wow.
them pollinated. So we look in here
Yeah.
and see if there's anything. But they're mostly males right now.
Okay.
So you gotta have, they have to be pollinated or you don't get, see now here's one ready to pick.
Okay.
The
Great.
little tiny one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, anyway, now these are beets
Beets.
and these are ready to pick.
Oh, okay. Wow.
They're dry. They
Yeah.
need
So you
water.
get a lot of your food from here.
Yep, and then these are kale, and then this is more New Zealand. Now this is broccoli,
Yeah.
and I got a big problem with white flies.
Yeah.
And I just wash them off.
Oh wow.
And I picked one big broccoli recently. So this stuff needs care. The
Yeah.
last few days I haven't been able to take care of it. Now this is lettuce.
Yeah. You're going
This
later.
is a butter crunch lettuce. Then these bell peppers are 3 years old.
Oh wow.
And here
Nice. They're doing good. Huh?
they're still doing fine. Look,
Yeah.
see, there's a nice. I just picked 2 big ones
Yeah. Nice.
yesterday. Day
So that's
before.
the key to your health. You're eating what you grow.
Oh yeah.
And you've been living off grid for 55 years now, huh?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, but we weren't here.
Yeah.
Now this was 1990, so whatever it is.
Yeah.
So we've only been here a short time. Tomatoes, I'm having a real
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
The cold nights, hot days, they don't like it. They
Oh.
like hot, humid weather.
Yeah.
The lettuce is doing good.
Yeah.
This is very good lettuce. Broccoli,
Huh.
mediocre. It's doing okay, but not great. And so I'm not. And I have another garden outside that
Yeah.
I get most of my food.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Okay.
So this solar, all solar batteries.
Everything's
solar,
solar.
washing machine.
And you-
It's a mess.
Yeah.
We're kind of messy, but
Yeah.
it's a generator when we don't have sunshine.
Yeah. And then you built the other house second?
Yeah, that was later.
Oh, later.
Now, you see, the reason we built that is that you see the glass house here
Uh-huh.
was designed for two people.
Uh-huh.
And it was designed as an art piece,
Uh-huh.
and it wasn't really designed for guests. So when we have family or friends, we would actually have our social life here,
Uh-huh.
and we would be here. And then in the evening, we built a guest house.
Yeah.
So the best thing for people to have is to have a separate house for guests.
Yeah.
Then they get up in the morning whenever they want to
Yeah.
and have some coffee.
Yeah.
You're separate. You can do your chores. You can do what you want.
Yeah.
The best thing for guests is to have a separate house for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what that. Now I live there.
Yeah.
And now I have people come visit
Yeah.
here.
And you built this part, right? You and your wife built this part, right?
The whole house, the doors, the windows, the handles, the stonework, the concrete floor, the cabinets, the electrical, Ben Ray and I, all by ourselves.
Wow.
Never hired help.
Wow, that's inspiring.
$8,500 built the whole house.
Oh, wow. Wow.
That's all it took.
Yeah, and you picked it because of the view, the location?
Well, the house designed itself.
Huh.
Now, I'll go through the scenario. It's on the video,
Yeah.
50 years off grid.
Yeah.
But what I did is, I was living in a 3-bedroom house back there,
Uh-huh.
and I decided, I want to see sky. The trees grew up and there was no sky.
Yeah.
So I got a box one day, I'm sitting right where I'm sitting now. And I said, I want to be able to sit right here, and I want to look out these windows. I had no idea what this house is going to look like, so I picked a point right there where I'm pointing, where the roof met the sky.
Uh-huh.
And in my mind, I saw this arch, and I said, okay, that is perfect. There's a hill, beautiful mountain, and there's a cluster of trees here as a focal point. And then within an instant, that line was drawn in my mind. So then I got up and I stood up here and I looked up and I said, well, I don't want that ceiling. I want it to come down to a human scale. And so I said, okay, the ceiling's gonna come down. So I turned around like this and I said, oh yeah, I want to look up the hill. And that was it.
Yeah.
So the house had to fit within the trees, and so it was snuggled into this little corner, and I made a house, and within 20 seconds the whole house was designed. That was the concept.
Wow. And you cut all the glass yourself too?
How's that?
You cut all the glass
Yeah,
yourself?
well,
Oh.
there's a story there.
Yeah.
I got the whole house built before I thought about the glass. And I had been buying glass because I was doing speculation houses in Santa Rosa from Northern California Glass Company. And I used to get the glass on wholesale price because I was doing these spec houses. So 30 years later, I built this house and I thought, whoa, this is going to cost a fortune in glass. So I call up Santa Rosa, Northern California Glass. I says, You know, there used to be a manager here called Alan. And anyway, I says, oh, he's still there, and he's still the manager, the same person. So it was so funny. So I talked to him on the phone. I says, you know, his name wasn't Alan. What was his name now? Anyway, skip my mind. I might remember it here. Anyway, I says, I will say Alan for now, but that wasn't his name. I says, you know, Alan, I built a house and I can't afford the glass. He says, well, he says, how much can you afford? I says, well, maybe about $1.33 a square foot for this 1/4-inch plate. And he says, I can do it. And it's $6 a square foot glass, and he said, telling me he can do it for me.
Wow.
So he says, but give me 2 months lead time, meaning that whenever the work was slack and the guys had nothing to do, then he would worry about cutting the glass. So he says, send me all the dimensions. So I measured all the glass, and I've got cardboard matches for all the curves and all. And I told him, I said, look, I got 11 miles of really rough road. I said, you're not going to be able to get this down here unless we pack it really, really well. Make sure those guys, and they did a beautiful. So a 3-ton of glass arrives at Highway 20 on a big truck with a crane, and I had set up my big truck. So I meet him because he wouldn't want to drive down here with his truck of glass. So he takes a big thing and puts it over on my truck. I strap it down. It took me 2 hours to get down here. I took it and
slowly.
boy, it came in, not a piece of glass broke or anything. So I go in the glass and I open it up and I pulled one out and I go, it was marked where it's supposed to go, and it wasn't cut right. They cut a straight line instead of a curve. And so I go to the second one and they did not cut any of them right.
Wow.
So I call him up, I says, anyway, I says, you know, I says, the glass wasn't cut. He said, well, wait a minute. He says, let me talk to the manager. Manager said, oh yeah, we forgot all about the cardboard curves. He says, put all the glass back in the box and meet the truck and we'll recut it. They recut the whole house of glass the second time.
Wow.
And I told him, I says, you know, I've taken this apart and I'll never get this box packed the way you had it. It's going to be hard. I get up to Highway 20 returning the load of glass and in a whole box full of busted glass. The driver takes a look. I said, what in the world are we taking this back for? It's all broken glass. And I says, well, Alan told me to bring it back. And I says, here it is. And he was kind of teed off bringing a box full of busted glass, 3 ton of glass broken up.
Wow.
So he switches it over and I came back. So later on, whenever I needed curved glass, I just bought it square and then cut it myself.
Oh, so you end up cutting everything.
Over there, like the cabin, the studio, I did all of that glass myself. Because it's easy to cut a curve. It's not hard to cut glass in a curve.
Could you please?
Did you want something?
Yeah.